Hey, what's up, back to front Virgin gang? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good today on something I just feel like showing off from Ye Olde Collection is going to be my full art Japanese trainer binder. It's going to be the one that I have. It's every single card, every single full art trainer in Japanese. I've showed this off before. I'm not going to go through every page, but these are my favorite things to collect. If full art trainers from any set, any kind of language or anything like that, I'm genuinely pretty happy to pull. I like actually pulling the characters in Pokemon. I love Pokemon a good little bit, but the actual characters you can relate to and personify through in the anime and the games, stuff like that, it's always something that's actually captivated me. I collect those. I prioritize getting them from sets first and foremost, and that's just always been something I do. Why am I bringing this up? Why the fuck am I talking about full art trainers once again? If you've been around the page for a little bit, I talk about them a good little bit. Hey, can't help it, I just like to. But I saw something floating around. I saw where people are starting to like itch the itch once again, starting to scratch it once more, and I just feel like talking about it because it always stems like interesting conversations about the Japanese and the English market. So I saw people talking about this one, and I have nothing against the person who posted this. That's not what this is. They're comparing Marnie, the actual one from Sword and Shield base, and the Japanese counterpart from Shield base. Now you can look over and very clearly see that the Marnie in English goes for roughly 40 to 60 bucks. I've seen it go from anywhere like that on Instagram versus TCG Player. And then, of course, the Japanese one looking at $675 for that fucking Shield base Japanese full art Marnie. Ooh, look at that price right there. First of all, let me say, that's cheap compared to what she was going for a little bit ago. I'm not saying like that's a great price. I'm just saying she was like $1,400, $1,500 for a little bit, and there was people considering buying it over in Japan. I fucking say what you will. I saw it. I saw where people were willing to actually purchase those, and I saw people fucking having whole ass conversations about picking up Marnie cards while they were still cheap at $1,500. So right there, whoo, steal of the decade right there. This always brings up interesting discussions. The conversation always goes one of two ways. There's always people who either massively defend these huge prices on Japanese cards, and then there's always people that run in and they just fucking obliterate. They're like, these cards should not exist at this price. There's no reason this art should be this price. You know, it's the same thing in all the other languages, blah, 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 blah. Or they just start saying other weird things about people that collect full art trainers, whatever. Not here to get into that. But it's always one of the two things. As someone who's collected full art trainers in Japanese for a long time, I'm here to tell you that I am right there in the fucking middle of them. I do think they're special. I do think Japan holds trainers a little bit differently. I do think bling decks in Japan, that's a fucking thing they like to do, man. They like to get the trainers, and trainers generally do decide whether or not you're going to win a battle. And of course, people like to show off the best versions of those. Hence, Iono being a stupid, dumb, crazy price, and every fucking printing she's got, she's getting multiple prints of that stuff. I mean, she's getting a fucking tournament box that's not on accident. Iono is a very playable card. Anyone who plays the TCG knows. And that's just something that happens, right? I don't necessarily think they should be some dumb, stupid price, though. In fact, when I was collecting them, and I've told the story several times, they were way cheaper than actual English counterparts in some cases. Japanese cards were cheaper. They were the cheaper option. Some of you new folks coming here probably are looking at me like, the fuck they weren't. Ever since I've been here, they've been, dude, go back to 2018, 2019, before any kind of fucking card boom happened, before the fucking pandemic happened, okay? Like, they were cheaper. I was buying them. Do you know why I have these cards? It's not because I'm fucking ruling in money. I'm not fucking just raking it in. I was able to get them because they were cheaper. I liked them. I was able to actually put my money towards that and get some super good collection goals. And for a while, people did not even acknowledge that full art trainers should have even been collection goals in the first place. Fucking Twice Baked Jake will tell you all about that before he changed his tune real quick when they got expensive. But that's one of those things that it came with the territory, man. Whenever fucking people hopped into Pokemon cards, they started getting back into it, and some of the trainers that were Japanese exclusive just started going up stupidly in price because some people want them. I get the demand for certain ones. I understand some of them are special. I get that some of them are kind of limited, okay? But I do not think that Japanese full art trainers need to be fetching dumb prices like that. I like collecting them. I can't afford trainers at that price all the fucking time. I can't. And I've had to take major step backs in what I'm able to do and put in my binder. And it does suck. It does stink, especially with things I like to do. Now, the other way, where people just straight up are like just trashing that stuff, and people are going like, oh, Japanese full art trainers are just not even worth collecting. Like, whoever does this stuff is just pumping certain things. Now, look, to a degree, I do think people are pumping them. I do think people are actually inflating things way more than they are. And I do think there's a little bit of truth to people literally just playing a fucking money game with these things. I think people do not like trainers as much as they say they do. And I always see it first whenever people decide to move certain cards. Like their full art trainers, even if it's the fucking chase card of the set, their Iono, their prized Iono from Clayburst. Yeah, it's the first card. It's got to go, man. I'm sorry. That's just what I just got to go, man. I can't give up my Charizard cards. I can't give up my Umbreon VMAX. What? I can't do it, man. Like it's just, dude. Iono's such a good buy. Buy it now. Like all this stuff. I had such a good time chasing it whenever I was going for that. Oh, Miriam. Oh, that was such a good card to chase. Blah, 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 blah. Like people would do that same stuff. They're always the first ones to go, and people will always have that same excuse that like trainers are just not what people are interested in. Look, I'm all for that. I want the fakers to leave. I want cards to go back to the way they were, the full art trainers to be fucking dirt cheap again. It was so much easier to actually collect them out in the binder. And then people are like, oh, well, don't you want them to have value? I don't fucking care if they have value. I don't really care. I'm not a money dude to begin with. I'm not here fucking making giant money moves with my cards. I have some crazy cards. I fucking held on to them. I did not sell them when they were at a crazy high price because I like them. If I sold them, there was a solid chance I was never going to get them again. Some people called me an idiot. Some people called me stupid. And I just said, fuck you. I liked it. I like my cards. I like having a binder full of them. I like having my Sword and Shield fucking binder full of trainers. I'm sorry you don't. I'm sorry you don't like rainbows. But hey, it's all good until it's like one of those crazy price ones, right? Until it's like, oh, I don't know, like Irida or Marnie or Sonya or any of those other ones people like to chase. Or what were people chasing fucking year one in Scarlet and Violet? Was it Miriam, Dendra, Iono? Oh, there were some crazy ones too, right? I mean, like, oh, the waifu tax is through the goddamn roof, right? Oh, the waifu tax, it's so fucking real and not bullshit hype tax, right? It's such a bullshit, like, excuse. People are literally just, like, going after sets for money and things like that. And then some of these same people that are talking trash about trainers, they're still subconsciously buying into that same market they trash with these new sets. Like, you're going after Bianca, you're still going after that, you're still going after Morty, you still want these cards? I mean, no, they're not as crazy expensive as things were, but those are still people's chase. They still go after those cards. And the same people that have issues with that market were fucking buying boxes of fucking Violet at like $180 a box looking for Miriam. Eevee Heroes, in my opinion, was a fucking test. That was a test in Japan to see what people were actually willing to spend on cards when it came to hype. Those boxes got up to something dumb expensive, and it was only like a week before it released, maybe like 5 days before it released. There was boxes going for $200, $210, and people were throwing money at those things because they knew they had to pull these crazy cards or else like they'd be behind. It was the ultimate FOMO test, and almost everybody failed that shit. I didn't buy any boxes. I said, fuck that. I picked up singles where I could, and I fucking made good moves on that. But I saw so many people who were just so against FOMO. Well, it's Eevee Heroes. I have to get it. You know how many people still have some of their Eeveelutions? Some of them do. I'd say about half the people who actually bought from that set still have their cards. Half of them sold. They just fucking cashed out the second that shit went crazy high, and they went on to do something else. And that's what's essentially happening with full art trainers right now. We're seeing people trying to cash out. Like, they cashed out way too late now at this point. What they should have did was cash out when Magi was fucking buying cards for something stupid expensive. But now you got people talking trash about a market that they fucking participated in, while also at the same time still participating in said market, chasing Biancas and Mellas and fucking just Ionos out the fucking ass. They're still going for it while talking all this shit in comment sections about how these cards shouldn't be worth fucking anything. And it's just like, I just want the charade to end. I just want the facade to just go away. I just want these motherfuckers to stop pretending like they like these cards. And like, just yank the mask off, dude. Just stop doing it. If you want to just get these cards stupidly priced, you should be the first one clapping that Marnie is $700. You should be the first one fucking trying to get her back up to $1,000, $1,500. But instead, you got money bros sitting around here fucking acting like this shit that they helped cause is just the worst thing that ever happened in Pokemon. Meanwhile, fucking paying $100,000 for certain Wizards of the Coast cards, that was okay. That wasn't hype. That was real. That was people loving Pokemon cards. But no, not this trainer shit. Not this trainer stuff. I hate that my niche of the hobby is just a fucking little fucking pit people stick their hands into and just go like, Oh, what's this? Oh, fucking Miriam. Let's make that fucking $800. Why don't we do that? Oh, we don't like these anymore. These aren't. Get that out of here. Get that shit out of here. Oh, and you like those cards? You fucking collect those cards? I spit on you, you fucking asshole. It's so goofy how people do that stuff. I just want them to leave. I just want them to stop fucking pretending. And quite frankly, if people want to say whatever they want to say about him, that's cool. Just it's nuts to me that this conversation still happens. Motherfuckers caused this market. They fucking bought into it. They paid $1,000 for Iono cards, and now they're sitting here going like, why is fucking Marnie $700? I can't fucking wrap my head around it. I'll pay $800 for Sightseer, but Marnie's just where the line is. I just don't get it. Just go back to collecting fucking Charizards. Go back to collecting fucking Umbreons. Go back to collecting Pokemon cards, dude. I'm so sick of this fake ass bullshit where people are pretending to like this stuff. Like, I can't enjoy the aspect of my hobby that I enjoy because motherfuckers are out here just fucking dipping their dick into it until they just don't want to dip their dick in anymore, and then leaving, and then fucking kicking me while I'm still here being like, yeah, fuck you, bitch. You still like these cards? Lame. Loser. You didn't sell fucking your cards and they were $2,000? Asshole. Like, I hate this place, man, sometimes. I really do. I love it, but, like, looking at people... Why are you talking about Japanese prices now, too? Like, why weren't you talking about it, like, a year ago? Oh, because you were probably making money or looking for the Miriam and the Dendra and the Iono. Probably because you were doing that. That's what I would assume the thing is. Not talking about the person who posted it, but, like... It's convenient for you when it's good for you. When the money's good for you, everything's great. The second Scarlet and Violet fucking takes a dip in its trainer prices and stuff like that, it's the worst thing that's ever happened. This place fucking blows. This place absolutely stinks. It's so stupid. Japanese cards are just fucking dumb. And the Korean card talk is just even stupider. Like, you even try to go get a Korean counterpart because the Japanese one is $1,000. People look at your card and they're like, oh, you got a Korean card? Worthless. Absolutely dog shit. Why are you even fucking bothering that stuff? Just insulting an entire card collection base and that same thing. Money people. Y'all are the most fickle crybabies I've ever seen in this place. Like, say what you will about me. Obviously, I like bitching up a storm. The second money even kind of goes some way you don't like it, just bullshit coming out of your mouth. Put a diaper on that shit. God damn. It's just... It always kills me. I don't even care what people have to say about this stuff, too. This is my part of the hobby. This is what I like to collect. I'll say whatever the fuck I want. Here's what I got for you if you don't like it. There you go. That's all I got. See you later, virgins. I'm just going to go buy some trainers. I don't know. I'm going to fill up my binder.